Welcome everyone to another CTC Software webinar. My name is Chris Bircher, Director of Technical Services here at CTC, and today we are going to go over project startup workflow using a couple of different tools from CTC. Now, as always, I want to encourage you to ask questions throughout the webinar. I will do my best to stay on top of those throughout and try to answer them in line, but otherwise, I will be sure to make sure all of them get answered at the very end of the webinar. So if you can stick around for that, great. If not, no big deal. And I also want to point out that this is going to be recorded so that you can come back and watch it later at your convenience if necessary. So with that, let's get started. So today, like I had mentioned, we are going to be covering project startup workflows using HIVE and our BIM project suite. So we at CTC released and have been creating tools over the years to enhance your project experience and to speed up, tasks that generally take a long time. So things like, starting a new project and the creation of all your floor plans and elevations and setting up your sheets and getting details loaded in and things of that nature. Oftentimes starting a new project can take a couple of hours depending on the amount of information that either needs to be added to a project at the beginning or stuff that needs to be removed from your project, depending on your concept of project startup. Do you prefer to add to get going and you start small, or do you start big and purge out what you don't need? So we're kind of going to go over a specific workflow that we've established using our tools. And in the webinar today, what I will be showing you is 4 different applications. First one will be HIVE and how we can use that to start our projects. The second app will be View Creator, and this will help us generate a bunch of our plan views to kind of get going. The third app will be Spreadsheet Link, and we will use that to batch create all of our sheets, or at least most of them. And the fourth app is one of our new apps called Sheet Assistant, and we will be using that to assist with sheet layouts and managing of views placed on sheets and various other little tidbits here. So that's kind of the outline for today. And I don't like doing a lot of PowerPoint stuff. I end up falling asleep if I'm watching a PowerPoint presentation. So we're going to go live, and then we'll ask questions later. So let's just get into it. So we're in Revit, and I'm going to open up HIVE because HIVE is our content management system. And within HIVE, I have all of my content, sheets of details, and I actually have my templates, or in my case, a starter project available here. So HIVE, for those of you that aren't aware, is a content management tool. So we can store all of our Revit families, all of our standards, we can throw up additional documentation, and we can put it at our users' fingertips, accessible by simple searches. And we can build up saved searches to make finding things a lot easier, especially if it's something you're searching for all the time. Or we can switch to specific libraries and search based off, kind of like searching in Google. You just type in what you're looking for and you'll find it. In this case, I have a templates kind of quick search or saved search, and it pulls up all of the starter projects that I have loaded in. And to start a project at this point, all I need to do with Revit open is double click the version that I want to use. So in this case, I've got Revit 20 open. So I'm going to open up my starter project for 2020. And I'm going to double click it. It gives me my options here. How do I want to open this? and it's a starter project, which means it's a central file already. In this case, I'm going to go through the detach and preserve option. And when it's done opening, I'm going to turn around, save it, and get to work. So one of the things as I'm saving it that you might notice here is that my file is very light. And I'm just going to save this to my desktop for now. Very, very light. I don't have much loaded in here at all. I've got a couple views, couple sheets, couple schedules, handful of families, right? I don't have a lot to work with. And that's by design. So because of HIVE, I've got access to everything that I could possibly need to bring into my project at my fingertips. And because of applications that we make like View Creator and Spreadsheet Link, I can use those tools to generate a bunch of the views and sheets and things like that that I would need on my project. So instead of having to overload my project file with a bunch of stuff that I may or may not need, I keep it small and only create exactly what I do need. So yeah, you can see I've got a couple sheets, one schedule, one plan, and it's only a site plan. So we got to get going and start building some of this stuff out. So the first app I'm going to run out and use right now is called View Creator. So I'm going to switch over to my CTC Software tab. And all of the other apps that we're talking about today are a part of the CTC BIM project suite. HIVE is its own little application found over here. BIM project suite is this nice big long stretch of green tools. There's a handful of freebies here as well. And then there's the darker shaded tools, which are licensed applications. So View Creator is the first app. And this one allows me to generate levels if I need to start there, right? That's a great place to start. Then I can transition into my plan views and ceiling plans. So then into elevations if necessary. Start building up my dependent views and managing schedules, work sets, and all whatever, anything that's kind of view related, we can deal with here. So I'm going to start with my levels, and I've got lower, main, second, roof, and parapet. Well, I want to insert a third floor, so I'm going to add a level. I'm going to call it third level, just to follow formatting. I'm going to put this at 24 feet. I'm going to move this up to 36 feet and then move this up to 40 feet. Okay. Now, when I go ahead and apply this to my model, it's going to insert the new level and shift my level markers up, the ones that I shifted here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. 1 new, 2 updated, nothing failed. That's what I like to see. No errors. So that part's done. Now we're going to transition into our plans and ceiling plans. So depending on the type of project that you're working with, we have the ability to specify or generate existing plans, new plans, demo plans, you name it, right? So based off the level and the associated view template that goes with it and the phase, we can build out all of the plan views and have them named in a manner that I am personally like to have. So you can see I've got some abbreviations set up here, and I need to add one for my third level. I like to have mine numerically listed here. So in this case, lower level starts at 00, then 01, 02, 03, so on and so forth. The taller the building, you may need to stretch out the abbreviation more in this case. So, but I need these guys. We're going to start here, and I'm building my floor plans first. Now, I'm going to go ahead and we'll just say it's a brand new project. I don't have any existing or demo views to generate. So I'm going to select the types of views that I want. So I need some code plans. I'm going to want some finished plans, general documentation, some presentations. I love my working views, and I've already got my site plan, so we'll leave that. And then I'll probably have to export this to CAD for a reason, so I'll generate those as well. All of them are going to be new construction. So when I hit add here, it's going to go ahead and generate those views based on the level and the template associated. And that's how they're labeled now. And it starts with the level name, the view template abbreviation, and the phase, if necessary, right? I've set the phase to not have an abbreviation, so there you go. Most of everything that I work with is based on the template itself. So this is how my views are going to be labeled. And this is everything that's going to get created. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And in about 2 seconds, I get my 30 plan views. Excellent, right? And you can see the browser starting to populate a bit here. So next thing I want to do is generate ceiling plans. So I'm going to switch my view type filter here to ceiling plan, grab my plans with exception to the roof, and I'm going to grab my ceiling plan templates here. Also part of new construction, hit add, shows up here, hit create, boom, I got these 8. So in about 5 seconds, I've created 38 different plan views. So it's pretty slick and it populates, sets it up real quick. And then I can go along and start manipulating my elevation views and picking phases to associate them with. What crop boundaries do I want? If I had scope boxes I could start lining up my dependent views and all that good stuff. I don't have any of that yet, so we're just gonna back out of here. Okay, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to a floor plan. And at this point, I want to start to get the basics in place, right? You get your floor plans, you start drawing a little bit, right? Oftentimes we draw a little before we actually get the project going. So at this point, what I would do is either, maybe link in the CAD background, or maybe you've got like a SketchUp model or a Rhino model, link that in, right? That's going to be what we redraw. Or if you're an MEP firm or structural firm, let's link the architectural background in, right? And at that point, we can start to go ahead and stitch together or put together our designs. So being that this is sort of a weak architectural model, I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick little layout here. And no judging. I'm not an architect, so don't get mad at me for not doing anything super fancy. All right, do that. No doors loaded. So yeah, I do want to load one in, but I'm not going to use Revit's method. I'm going to pop back over to Hive. And since I don't need that, I am now going to clear out my filters. And I'm just going to look for a single door. So I'm going to type in swing single. It'll populate a bunch of stuff for me. I like this door here, so I'm going to double click that. Okay, so I must have quadruple clicked that earlier. Let's go back and try this again. Let's bring back Hive. There we go. All right, and now I can start inserting my door families. That and that. I'm just getting a couple in here just to say that I did. All right, and you know what? Just to make sure I have stuff, we'll insert this guy too. So now that I've got a few things loaded, I know it's not great, but it is what it is. I am now going to put in a couple of scope boxes and generate area plans. So, and the reason why I'm going down this route is because there's another piece to the view creator that I want to show you guys. So we have the ability to create dependent views for our floor plans based on scope boxes in the model. So I just put another scope box in the same spot, and we're going to pull this guy over to here. We'll call this area A. Grab, copy, paste that back in place again. This is now area B. Slide it over like that. I've got my overlap, things line up. And now I need to effectively build out my area plans. Now, traditionally, you can right click, duplicate as dependent, rename them, and then go through that entire process for every single view, right? And there's ways to go ahead and apply things and stuff like that. But what if we could just do it all through an app and not have to manually set up anything? Well, we can. View Creator helps us out with that. So on our dependent views tab, now that I've got some scope boxes here, I can have my area plans generated based on the overall plan. So what I'm going to do here is just basically select all of these, or we'll select a handful. I'm not going to, I don't want you to sit here and watch me select 45 views. So we're going to grab these two and these two, and I'm just going to grab the primary floor plans here just to do the thing. And here we go. And you know what? Let's do our RCPs too. That makes sense. Do those and those and those. And now that I've got the views that I want picked, I can hit create dependent. And what's going to happen now is I'm going to get my 18 dependent views based off the plans that I had selected. And you can see in the browser already that all the floor plans and RCPs that I'd selected have that plus sign. So if I back out of here and check it out, I now have my area plans and they're already labeled for me. So I didn't have to worry about doing any renaming. It just did it. And it already associated all those scope boxes to those views for me, right? Scope box area A. So a very slick and easy way to go about putting these together. So now that I've got a project started, I've got some views in place, I've got a little bit drawn, I'm now ready to start thinking about the sheets that I want to insert and create. So before I do that, I got to quick save this. Otherwise, Spreadsheet Link will get upset. So I'm going to transition into Spreadsheet Link now. We're going to clean up a couple of views here, so I don't need these. And in Spreadsheet Link, this is a huge and powerful application that can do a bunch of different things. For the most part, what Spreadsheet Link does is it allows you to edit and manipulate data in your project, whether that's live in the model as you're working, or you can save it out to a spreadsheet and manipulate the data in Excel, then import it back into your project and watch it update. And that's kind of the main focus of the tool. However, there's a couple of different apps or tools built in to help out with various tasks, one of them being sheet creation. Now, in Spreadsheet Link, I'm going to go ahead and select the sheets category, and you can see it start to populate here in the background. And I need to grab sheet number, sheet name, and if you have like a sort order property that you like to use, you can add that in, or discipline sort order or sheet set sort order, whatever you use to kind of organize that a bit. I believe I'm using sheet sort order, so I'm going to bring that in, and sure enough, that's the one. So now I can build out all of my sheets, and to do that, I come over here to this Excel type preview window, And I have the ability to hit the Create New Sheets option. And what this will do for me is allow me to specify how many new sheets do I want to create, which title block do I want to use, and are they going to be actual sheets that are, usable in the project, or will they be unplaced sheets specific for, consultant work or things not happening in the current model, so that my sheet index is accurate. A lot of times, civil and transportation type drawings, or anyone using AutoCAD for that matter. So in this case, I am going to generate, let's see here. We'll cap it at 20 for now. I'm going to use my standard title block. These will be active sheets, so I'm not going to check that box. And when I hit create, it's going to line them up for me here. So now what I need to do is start to edit some of this data. And for starters, I'm going to, you can keep it simple and just drag it down just like you would in Excel and get 1 through 20 right out of the gate. Or, you can manipulate these as needed. So say this is 100A, and this is going to be 100B, 101A, 101B, and we'll just do a couple like this, and then we'll switch gears just to, wait, what did I do? Yeah, B, and then we'll make this one 200, 201, 202, and then we'll make this 203. Oops. And we'll switch to 300. Oops. 301. And then I'll just run that down the list. And then we'll make an A400. All right. Now we got to name them. Well, if you've got your standards, call it that. Lower level plan, right? And you can say area plan, or you can just say plan. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And rename a few of these. We'll call it main level plan. And then I want to call this second level plan. And we'll do this. And then I'm just going to leave the rest alone so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me do a bunch of data entry. But then the sort order, the next important thing. I need to make sure that all of these fall into the architectural sheets or, grouping. So I'm going to stretch that down and copy it across. And I believe in this case, I also want to bring down my type IDs here. And actually, not that one. There we go. So now I'm happy. Now I've got two options here. First option is to go ahead and save this to Excel and continue, and then maybe I have my master copy then. And if I need to continually add more sheets, or whether it's for civil drawings or maybe the equipment company they're doing CAD drawings, so I need to have placeholder sheets for that, or maybe structural is using AutoCAD. So there you go, right? We need sheets. So I can go ahead and update that copy later and then import it all back in. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and apply it directly to the model. So I'm going to go ahead and click Apply, Active Worksheet, and yes, I want to apply these to my model. And away we go. So it went ahead and updated 20 things. So that's the 20 new sheets that I added. 3 didn't change, and those are the originals. So I'm happy. Again, no errors, even better. So I'm going to close that out. I'm going to come back here and close it all out. And you can see already all of my sheets are showing up in the browser. One of the also nice things about Spreadsheet Link is you can save these settings. If you needed to use it again on a future project, you can have the settings predefined and just simply load them in and hit go. And so if you have standards and you've got the same sheet set up for all your projects, and maybe just the quantity of sheets changes, but it's still our 100s are floor plans, 200s are ceiling plans, 300s are elevations, 400s are enlarged plans, 500, and so on. You can build out a setup for that so that when you do go back on the next job, you can load that in and either add or remove sheets from the list, depending on the project. So I'm not going to save these, but just go ahead and close it out and be done. And now I've got all my plans, or I'm sorry, all my sheets. So the next piece and the last piece to this is we need to manage the placement of these views on these new sheets that we created. And oftentimes we want, or all the time, we try to make sure that they are consistently located sheet to sheet to sheet. So we want to make sure our plans are consistently located. If there's schedules and or legends or notes or symbols on our sheets, we want to make sure that when I turn the page, that information is there and it's in the same spot. And you don't want things jumping around as you're turning the pages. That's where Sheet Assistant comes into play. So I'm going to open up Sheet Assistant and use this to help me place the views in my model on sheets that I just created. Now, Sheet Assistant does more than just help you with placement of views and aligning views on sheets. It can also create views for you, and it can also create sheets for you, depending on what you need and when you need it. I love this tool for helping me lay out my sheets and getting stuff set the way I want, and then applying that to everything else. So I currently don't have anything laid out. So I'm going to pull this off to the side, and I'm going to open up my floor plan sheet. And so just scoot that off to the side. Oh, I forgot to pick a title block, didn't I? No, I did. That's my standard title block. That's great. I picked the wrong title block. So let's fix that. I'm going to go ahead and select all of these and switch them to my proper title block. There we go. Now we've got that. So now I'm going to lay it out. So I want to put down not that floor plan, this floor plan. And I don't have anything in the basement. That's okay. For the sake of making it look a little bit more prominent on the sheet, I'm going to go ahead quickly and just change my scale, just so it looks a little nicer. And we'll bring that back down like this. And I'm going to insert my room schedule, which I don't have anything for, but that's okay. And I also want to insert a door schedule. So I'm going to make one of those real quick. Schedules, and we'll do a door schedule. That's not a door schedule. This is a door schedule. I grabbed a duct on accident. So let's go ahead and grab a couple of parameters here. We'll keep it simple. We'll grab mark, and we're going to grab panel. We'll grab width and height and panel material, frame material, and then we'll cap it with fire rating, and then comments. And we'll sort by mark, hit OK. I've got a few things in here, and I've got some editing to do to make sure I'm using the right stuff, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and close that and add this schedule to my sheet. Boom. Now, I'm gonna, so one of the things that I'm gonna run through here is I'm gonna make sure that, I've got my stuff lined up where I want it, and, make sure I'm happy with that. I can use a quick little tool that we have in our toolbox called View Aligner. And this tool will help me align views on my sheets to make sure that, I get the nice crisp lines and the tops of views are all lined up across the sheet. The left side is lined up, the bottom, whatever you want to do here. We can line things up by level if you're dealing with sections and elevations. So I just want to make sure that I got good, clean lines. So I'm going to hit escape there. I'm going to go ahead, switch to the right. Okay, we're all good. Now, I want to use this to lay out the rest of my plans, okay? So what I'm going to do over here now in Sheet Assistant is set that up. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and grab sheet, 100A, which is what I just laid out back here. And I'm going to go ahead and specify how I want my views positioned. All right, so I'm going to grab view 1, which it tells me, and the app knows it's a floor plan. It knows which floor plan it is. And I can go ahead and say, I want to align by the left edge and the top. So this top left corner is how I want my views to line up. Then I'm going to switch over to view number 2, which is a schedule. And I'm going to do right and top. So the top right corner now. And then I'm going to switch over here to view 3 and do bottom right. So now when I go ahead and apply this to the other sheets and views, as long as I have a plan view and schedule views, it's going to go ahead and line them up just like this. And everything will now lay out and be positioned in the same spot. And what you also have the ability to do then is, you've got other projects that need to be laid out just like this. You can save this as your view configuration template, open that other project, load this in, and go ahead and apply this to the views and sheets in that model to make sure that they are also lined up nice and neat themselves. So over here, I now need to grab, let's see, I need to grab, what did I start with? 101A, B, 102A, 102B, and hit. Actually, I need, no, not new, I'm sorry, I had to switch to the right sheet. I need to grab these views and tell it which views and schedules to put on these sheets. So 101A, B, no, I need 100B also. So we'll start here. 101A, what view gets placed here? So 101A is the main level. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my existing unplaced views. And, no, let's do this. I can duplicate them. I can place existing unplaced, or I can skip it, right? And I can do that with schedules. I can say keep original if I want to use the same room schedule or same door schedule, which is what I want to do in this case. So I might as well just go ahead and run through those real quick. Oh, wait, I don't want. So, so that's what you, yeah. So that's the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and actually close this real quick because I made a mistake. So I need to open it back up and do that again. So if I grab this here, 100B, no, A, left, there, nope, top, right, bottom, right. Grab those on the new sheet tab. There we go. Yeah, I had made a mistake. So now I'm going to go ahead and find lower level B. And for the schedule, I'm going to keep the original schedules. And then I just got to do that all the way down the line. So we'll go ahead and use, I'm on 100. So I need floor plan A, keep schedule, 102, and no, I'm on one. Oh, I just messed that up big time. I want this one. Area A. $100B. Yep, there we go. Wait, I'm all mixed up. What am I doing here? 101A. Okay, I need that there. There. And I need 101B there. And then original 102A. There we go. Now we're on track. God, stumbling over myself here. Keep original, 102B. Floor plan unplaced. And we'll grab 2B. Original. And now we got to go back to lower level B. No, hide that. Boom, there we go. Keep. So now that I've got everything set, I can go ahead now, review it one last time, make sure I didn't completely screw myself up. Pretty sure I got it squared away this time, and click apply. So when now that it's done, you can see my sheets now have been populated with some information. And I can just go ahead and start looking at it. So 100B has the floor plan and the schedules set up exactly like I said. And there we go. So, and I forgot to manage, you know what? This one, I screwed up something here. I think I forgot to realign my views. At any rate, it did it for me, and that's the important thing. And actually, if I wanted to, I can go back to this now and change the alignment if I wanted to. Maybe, oh, I did left bottom when I should have done left top. That's what I did wrong. So now if I do that change and push that change to the rest of these views again that I had made, not on that view. If I hit reset, we'll just start over. I'll grab 100B and switch it to what I was supposed to do. Right top, right bottom, left top, there we go. That looks better. And then grab these sheets over here, select all and hit apply. It's now gonna fix that for me. So now at the top of my view, which is the extent of the view, everything's gonna line up the way it's supposed to. So, and that's Sheet Assistant for you. So what we've done today, hopefully now, will get you guys a good start. Whether it's one thing I forgot to mention actually is back with Hive, maybe I need to load in some details. You know, maybe you've got sheets upon sheets of details. In this case, I've got a bunch of MEP sheets of details. We got some electrical stuff, some piping, some mechanical, bunch of schedules. If that's the type of project, you know, if that's how you use your Hive environment, I can now double click any one of these sheets and get my schedules or get my details and schedules depending on the sheet that you've got. So I'm going to grab 805 here because it's going to be lightweight. But effectively, you double click it. As long as there's no active command running, it'll load in. Now, this is not, you know, Sheet Assistant's a floating window. It doesn't actually lock up Revit at all. So I can leave it open off to a second monitor, whatever you want, and still function in Revit just fine. My job is done with it, so I'm going to unload it. But you can see now it brought in my 805. It's got the schedule that I had. It's got this detail group placed, and it now shows up in this question marks grouping in my project because I did not tell it to go to a particular place. So, you know, like I had mentioned earlier in the webinar here, is I like to start with minimal information in my templates. I like to start light because Revit's going to bloat and get to be a large, heavy file on its own. So if we can keep it small as possible, we can be more productive and we will get better processing time and the models will move faster and everyone on the team will be happier. We don't need to have 1,500 families preloaded into the project. We don't need 200 sheets and 50 sheets of details when I'm only going to use 10 sheets of details, right? We don't need all this stuff. And chances are, if you start with all that stuff, you're not going to get rid of everything because you don't know yet. So in my mind, if you don't know what you need, why don't you just wait until you do know and then load it in? Personal preference on the working. Everybody can work the way they want to work, obviously. We've got tools to accommodate no matter what you do. So this specific example today starts with little and we add as necessary using Hive, View Creator, Spreadsheet Link, and Sheet Assistant. So that concludes my presentation for today. I want to thank you all for joining.